Hello, everybody, and happy Friday. So, you know the drill. This is our live for our Heat Press for Profit podcast. I'm Kelly Walters, and today we are going to be talking about a really fun and prevalent topic in our industry, which is going to be social media. So, we are broadcasting live here on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and if you're watching with us live, make sure you shout out who you are and where you are tuning in from. Now, if you are listening to this podcast on the podcast platform, then make sure you subscribe and show where we launch a new episode every week. And I encourage you to head over to Facebook, join our Heat Press for Profit community, where you can interact with our guests and lots of your peers who are also in the heat printing business. Now, this podcast is designed to have conversations with apparel decorators and others in the industry experts that have an impact on your business. And today I am super excited because our very own Danielle Petrosky is here with us. And let me say that we were pulling her arm to get her on. So lots of love over to her today. Make sure you guys say hi because you get to see her live. So Danielle is our senior social media marketing manager. And Danielle, thank you so much for doing it. I know it took a minute, but we got you on.
I know. Thanks so much for having me. It's so fun. It's so interesting to be out in public now. I'm usually behind the screen. No one ever gets to see me. But I'm super excited to be here to teach more about social. So thanks everyone for being here too. I really appreciate it. It's so fun to know that people want to know about social. So
absolutely. So because the social media encompasses so much, what exactly is your role besides just the title? What do you do for Stalls?
So
everything.
I oversee social channels, Stalls, and Transfer Express. I am not the only person. There's a team. I would be lost.
You're cutting out just a wee bit, so say it again.
Did you lose me?
Yeah, you there?
Sorry, what?
Try it again. Your audio would cut out, so start over from the beginning.
Oh, geez. Okay, so I oversee all of the social channels. No.
Are you there?
Can you? No. Is it bad?
Yeah, you're there.
You want to try again?
Yeah. Can you hear it?
Okay, sorry, I didn't know if you could hear me.
Yeah. Colin, can everybody hear her?
I oversee the social channels. We have teams that help us as well. Carla McCarthy and Stephanie Cravens.
Let me see. Daniel, hold on one second. Can you guys that are tuning in, I can see like LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. How's the audio for you guys? It's kind of going in and out for me. So I just want to make sure that those that are tuning in live can actually, okay. Yeah, so we've got like in and out. Say it again. So we might just kind of start over. Let's see. Okay, I've got some that say yes, some that say not really. Okay, so for those of you that were kind of going in and out, we have Danielle Petrosky live with us. She is our senior social media marketing manager, and we are going over social media 101. And I wanted her to just take a quick moment and tell you guys what she does. Social media isn't just one thing. There's so much that encompasses really running successful social media platforms. That is a tongue twister for sure. So earlier I called her S squared M cubed, and I think you're gonna have to just wear a shirt for that now. But Danielle, just give us a little bit of information about what it is you do, and of course, how you contribute to growing those platforms.
Yeah. So So I see the social channels, the social teams at both Trails and Stalls, and have been for years. It's amazing. It's really great. So what I do is I help with content. I help with ideas. I'm not the only person doing it. So Carly McCarthy is our Stalls social media coordinator, and Stephanie Penza is or Stephanie Graven, sorry, is our social media coordinator at Transfer Express. So when you see posts on, Facebook and Instagram and all over the place, it's those guys behind those posts. I'm watching and I'm commenting as well, but they're really doing that. And then I actually am a community manager, basically admin of the Heat Press for Profit group Facebook. So I'm in there. I see a lot of names in the chat, whatever, that I communicate with you in the group. So it's fun to see your faces, or you see your names. So now we can see our faces, right? So that's basically what I do. So it's, but we have lots of channels. We are not just on Facebook and Instagram. We are on Pinterest and LinkedIn and YouTube and like we have forums. There's all sorts of stuff. We're everywhere, pretty much anywhere online. I see you.
I feel like more and more social media platforms are popping up like every quarter, right? And it's like, oh, well, okay, now you're already on 6 other platforms. Now you've got to be on this platform because this platform targets, whatever demographic, whatever age group for that platform. So I'm sure it gets to be a lot, even though you have support. Our team has support. It's just still so much in terms of managing. So today we are going to talk specifically about Facebook and Instagram. Now, for those of you that are not familiar, our Heat Press for Profit group on Facebook actually stated that a lot of their core platforms that they use is actually Facebook. So if some people think Facebook is a dying platform, it is not. So I'm here to tell you, and so is she, that it is still very, very, very important for your business. And we will also talk a little bit about Instagram. There's a lot of things and key elements in your bios and your business page that are on multiple platforms. It's not just one. So as you are following along or tuning in, if you're live, we want to see answers to some questions. And if you are listening on the podcast, then get out some paper because we want you to write down answers. Danielle's got a list of questions for you that are going to help you really navigate through what you need on your social media platforms, specifically in your bios and a couple of other description areas. So this is going to be an interactive podcast or video, however you are getting a hold of this content, but just know we want you to follow along. There might also be a little bit of screen sharing, but again, if you're tuning in on the podcast side, then know you've got LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook where you can go and check it out from a video standpoint. So Danielle, I'm going to let you have the floor because I know we've got a lot to get through, and let's just dive deep and figure out what we need to do to turn those platforms around or just really help somebody get started.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks so much for the great introduction. So I have a question for everybody. You guys, thank you so much for whoever answered in the Heat Press for Profit group about, so the question was, what channels are you most active on for popular? And then Facebook eked out a little bit. So we're going to just start with Facebook for now. But I have a question for you too, is where are your customers most active? On what? Can you put that? Like Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? Where are your customers most active?
So the question was, where are your customers most active and on what platform? So for those of you that are listening, Ty Kane, he specifically mentioned Instagram. So Ty, thanks for tuning in. Eric Batewell said Facebook for a little bit older demographic and Instagram for a little bit younger demographic. And let me just say, I am in both that older and that younger. So I am both Facebook and Instagram. So there's Daisy Lee said TikTok, Waist Up Imprinted Sportswear said Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So that's really interesting that you've got three completely different platforms. KCB says Facebook. So if you're listening, make sure you're writing this down because there will be a reason in Thai. So Instagram looks like we're getting a variety.
Yeah, Instagram's in here too. Yeah, so that's great. So my other question is, who is your ideal customer? Who are you trying to attract? So give me like an age range, some interests, things like that. And you cannot say everybody. That is not an answer. So please, if you would, I mean, it really is, this will help me. So who's your ideal customer? Do you have what is it? So please put that in the comments. Would really love to see that too. This will help. I'm not just getting random. Yeah.
Just trying to adjust here.
Okay,
so Waist Up Imprinted Sportswear says coaches, sport group leaders. We've got construction trade companies from Martin. That's great. We've got KCB says a 25 to 35-year-olds, people that wear t-shirts that like graphic tees and glitter. So that's a really, really great niche. Eric Batewell says 25 to 45-year-olds, typically parents who do a lot of youth sports. So as you're listening and maybe you don't have the answer to those questions or you really don't know, the 4 or 5 that I just read off are excellent points. We've got industry trades, we've got coaches, which is a specific person that's probably going to be doing the initial purchase of garments. We've got even age range in there, which is important to consider on not only price points, but type of styles of garments and decoration. And then Ty Kane says ideal customer is what?
And message. How I'm talking to them. I don't know. This will help, right? So, sorry. So, Ty, go ahead and say. Ty Kane has an ideal customer.
Yeah, ideal customer is a brewery or small business owner interested in the best quality headwear. So again, extremely specific, and I love that.
Yeah. So the point of asking was, so you know who you're talking to. So you're 25, look at Eric's, you're 25 to 45-year-olds, typically parents. He does a lot of youth sports. So that's still a pretty wide range. So maybe you're 25 to 35 is where you're going on Instagram, talking to them there. And maybe you're, 36 to 45 is where you are when you're on Facebook. I don't know if that's true, Eric, but that's what I'm guessing. But it's really important when you start, who you're to. A friend of mine, he just opened a business, not a t-shirt business, a different one. So I was talking to him and I said, well, he has all the social things. He's branded. He's all over the place, but he has no idea what his marketing part of it or the strategy of his social. So there's definitely a thing about starting social and just jumping in because it's easy and it's free and it's all those things. And you definitely, I'm not ever going to say no to that, but also know that there's more to it, right? As a business, you need to know who you're talking to, who you want to sell to. And I know everyone says, I want to sell to everyone, but you don't want to sell to a 13-year-old, soccer player who doesn't have any money, right? So you want to sell to their parent, right? So that's the whole thing. So you knowing who you want as a customer will help you talk to them, or the content, you'll be able to have the content around that group, as opposed to just willy-nilly posting whatever. That doesn't do anything. And no one, we'll get into that as well. So the content sharing and things like that, there's definitely strategy to that as well. It may be a different live. But let's go back to the basics. So we'll start actually with Facebook, just because that was like the leader in the group before, and that's what I have up on my screen. That's what I want to show you. So, can I, Carolee, I don't know how to share on this. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Go down to, guys, we're on StreamYard, so we're walking through it. Go down to present. It's got the plus, and then it says share screen. So while Danielle is working on sharing, Eric mentioned the goal isn't to do business with everyone who needs what we have. The goal is to do business with those who believe what we believe. And Eric, that's excellent, because at the end of the day, if you just say, I make t-shirts, well, what kind of t-shirts? How are you making the t-shirts? What kind of price are the t-shirts? And when you have those, that business strategy, or who your customer is, what type of products you like to offer, that's where it really helps you find the specific niche for your, target market, and the relatability, right? A lot of that is also being able to relate to the type of product and content that you share, which then can turn into results, which would be orders for yourself.
Kelly, can you see my screen or no?
Nope.
Oh, I don't think it's going to work. Hold on. There it is. Now, can you see it?
Nope.
All right. Sorry, you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. So I think you need two monitors.
It's
I don't have that right now. So oh, it's coming. Cool.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. Oh my goodness. You can see my mouse moving around?
Yeah. Oh, it's a little slow, but yeah, I mean, for the most part. So what we're looking at, guys, is the Stahls Company Facebook page.
Yes. Yeah. So this is where the meat of this live is going, really. So how to set up your pages for success. So I actually have a question for the group as well. When you're doing business currently on Facebook, if you are you using, or Instagram, are you using a business page? Are you using a personal profile? Put that in the comments if you would, and just let us know. Hopefully it's business page, because if it is a personal profile, which is totally fine, people do that, but I really recommend using a business page, because you just get so much more, things. You get a perfect.
So we've got a couple coming in saying that they use business pages. Let's see.
You can do ads.
You're frozen. Guys, I'm going to wait for her to see if we can get her back in. But one thing to consider when it comes to any type of platform, if there is a business or a personal option, there are going to be certain perks per se that you can do with a business page over a personal page. So you can dive deeper into analytics. You can run ads. You can really target who you're going after with your business page versus a personal, which just might kind of be on the whole willy-nilly comment of, just getting it out there and not really having a strategy behind everything. Danielle, are you back with us? Nope, she's still frozen. Okay, so with the page that she's trying to that we were going to be showing you guys is Danielle, if you are able to come back, then definitely let me know. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. You're moving.
All right. I'm gonna not share the screen and see if anything helps with it. So sorry about that, you guys. I'm so sorry. This really is my first live and I'm learning a lot right now. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us because it's a little nuts. Anyway, so you guys all have a Facebook page, right? So great. So your profile picture should be your logo. It should be your business logo, whatever that is. Then you have your header image, which is like a billboard for your company. So you want people to know what you do in that image. So it should have your again a tagline or show what you do. So I'll give you an example of a couple of things. A couple months ago, I was helping customers. I will not name names. I was helping one of our customers social. Asked me to tell him with a few tips. His header image was so cool, like really futuristic with his logo. It was really cool, but it said nothing about what he does. And so I asked actually some of my own friends and family members, and I said, what do you think this guy does? And they said, oh, he's totally in tech. And I said, oh, okay. No, he's a t-shirt guy. So that's the point, right? When someone comes to your page, so here's the deal. Not everyone's going to come to your profile right away, right? But they will if they're scrolling through, they see something of yours, and they think, oh, that's so interesting. I gotta know what that is. Well, if they go to your page and they still can't figure out who you are, you've just wasted it, right? You wasted your time and effort of posting whatever you did post, and then you wasted that precious moment of maybe a potential customer coming to your site. So, but also remember too, it's like so let's say you actually have a great great header image and profile and all that stuff, but none of your information is really filled out. Your phone number's not there, your email's not there, your website's not there, nothing. They're not going to click around and try and go look for you, right? They're not. We are like a one, maybe a 2-click society now. I mean, no one has patience to go digging for information at all. So think of that when you're filling out your profile. Think of like needing to, excuse me, I don't know, fill it all out. Plus, fill out an intro. We'll go back to the image in 1 second, but fill out the intro as well of why they should be following you. So I always think of that Ted Lasso's thing, like we are all goldfish, right? 10 seconds and then we forget. That's true. It's like we're scrolling through, like, oh, that's cool. Oh, no information. I'm on my way, right? So that's just how it is. So back to the header image, though. So go ahead and make sure that people understand what you do. Whether it's a cool tagline, it's images of things you've made. Maybe you change it out every month for seasonal, but like with your product on it, or what you're going to offer customers, and what you're going to offer your ideal customer. Because you're talking to those people that you want to attract. You're not talking to the 13-year-old girl that doesn't have any money. You're talking to her mom or whoever. Make sure you're branding yourself correctly. And then there's a trick too with when you click on the header image, it'll come up and there's a whole section for a description. Like that's just more real estate. So go ahead and explain what you do or give your mission statement or whatever it is in that description, then give a link to how to get that. Or DM me for, pricing or whatever you want to do. So that's just one little thing. But a lot of people don't use it and it's like wasted space if you don't use it. Like Facebook gives you some good help with that. So then the other thing I would say for over the photos, then you're going to go down to your intro. Again, it's something that you want to make sure that you are filling in the items or the why someone wants to follow you. You be concise about it because it's a limited amount of text you can for characters. And then also the make sure they're keywords. What are people searching for? You can have like a fun little, a lot of people put either nothing or they put like a fun sentence in there about them, but it doesn't make sense. Like you have to think of that as being kind of a website, right? With your information. So like ours is something like follow us to learn more about heat printing, heat presses, vinyl, DTF transfers, things like that. Those are keywords that people search for. So when they go onto Facebook and they search, we come up. So those are definitely things to think about. What else can I tell you?
So for those of you that are still kind of contemplating like, okay, well, what do I want to put in there that is valuable to yourself and to those that are viewing? One thing that you can look at it is look at your profile page, no matter the platform, as your brick and mortar store. Okay. Even if you have a brick and mortar, look at this as a brick and mortar store virtually where people are coming in and your image, right, is going to be your windows. It's going to be your front display windows. So whether or not you're a tech company, whether or not you're selling luggage, whether or not you're apparel, what do you want people to see from the outside to bring them in? And even though that image is super small, what is it that is going to stand out? And whether it's your logo, whether it is, your face with customers or customers' images, products, whatever, just make sure that it is going to be seeable. People can see what it is and they don't have to squint, too small on that. What is it, like a half inch? And if it's on our phones, it's even smaller. So it's really important for that. And when she was talking about the description, that is the basically the product that you're putting in those front windows. Because if you are a luggage shop and you're putting, I don't know, computers, because computers can fit in that luggage, are you showing that you're a luggage shop or are you showing that you are a computer shop? So it's just really important to make sure that those keywords are really describing what your business is, just to be as pinpoint as possible. It's a search engine in a way. And if you go to Google and you type in, heat transfer vinyl, what's going to pop up? And more than likely, you want your name to pop up on all sites, all platforms as best as possible. So that's why keywords are super important.
Absolutely. Another thing I would say too, that I see, it's great that all you guys have business pages as well, but on your personal pages, I am on Facebook and Instagram a lot, all day long. I'm sometimes trying to even contact you guys when you have a question about something in the group and I want to talk to you privately about it. I can't find how to contact you. So if you have a profile page or a personal page as well, please fill that stuff in too, of how someone can contact you through your business. Because here's the deal. While we all see statement from LinkedIn, she said, I have both a business and personal profile that I'm trying to push people to my business profile for the longest time, but they still reach out to me in my personal page. Well, here's the deal. If you, and I don't know how it is here, I've seen yours, but if you don't have your business information on your personal page, then, they won't know how to get you. And so some people won't follow your business page. Like, that's just how it goes. Friends and family, it's just weird. I don't know why that happens, but it is, right? So, but I'll tell you something about, this is crazy. A couple months ago, so I have a little side gig too, but it's not keep printing, but it's, fun. So anyway, it's in one of my like high school groups or something, some girl I have not talked to in I want to 20 years. It's just, but she reached out to me. I've never, I hadn't heard from her in 20 years. And she reached out and said, "Oh, I didn't know you did this, but I saw your profile on someone else's page for some reason. And then I went to your profile and was able to contact you through his page, your profile page." So it pays to do that, to have your information everywhere. Be open, be proud if you can. I mean, I get that there's some businesses or some, if it's a side gig for you, and some companies don't want you to have a side gig or whatever. I don't know how that works, but but you should have your information there everywhere. Why not? Right? You're open for business. So that's my trick on that. What else? What other questions?
I think, well, it's like just like what you said. If you have a business and people don't know you have a business, how do you expect to get orders? How do you expect to grow? Because I think sometimes the misconception with social media is, I've created my page, I've put product on there, or I've had my posts. Now I'm going to have a flood of orders, or an influx of orders come in, and it doesn't work like that. There are, millions, billions of people on social media anymore. So you become this ant in a in a colony, and now you have to find a way to stand out. And I know when we were chatting, one of the things I said was, like, if you have a brick and mortar and it's always closed, how do people know to come and shop? How do people know when they can actually buy from you? So whether or not you have a business page or a personal page, if you're not giving people that information on your personal to go to your business, or even your business giving your the right information on your business page, then your business is always going to be closed to the public, and you have to direct them to how to get there. So this is really great. Waist Up Imprinted. Oh, sorry, Danielle. Waist Up Imprinted Sportswear said, "We use our social platforms to grow followers and drive business to our website." So their key elements of building their social platforms is to push them over to the website, which is great. They're using that social media platform as advertising, and that advertisement is then transitioning them into their e-commerce platform.
So I have a note on that. So while I think that that's a great idea, I think that it's your strategy. So when you're on your channel, what's the point of your channel for you as a business? And I it could be awareness, just getting your name out there. It could be sales, right? It could be engagement and building community. There's a lot of different ways. Now, I know that a lot of sales, and of course, because we're to have sales, it's open, and you've got all these things. But here's the deal about that. So again, another ball. Same when I was helping Commando, who had the tech photo. Every page was buy this now, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. All these things, right? All the photos. There was no engagement. It was really, it was really busy, and it was all about them, right? And my an analogy about that where one person talking about themselves. They're only talking about themselves. I am so great. I am this. I am that. Oh, great me, blah, blah, blah. But they ask nobody else about anything else about anyone. What would you do? For me, I'd do an about face and get out of there because who wants to be around someone who's only talking about themselves? No one. So that's something to think about too on what you're going to talk about on your social channels. And also it goes back to who you're trying to market to, who you're trying to get to follow you, or, will have to trust you. That's in any business. And so if you're always talking about yourself, you're going to think like, oh, you don't care about who I am, so it goes back to why they should follow you, things like that. So, going back to like some of the content. So we have a ratio of content that we use on the Stalls and Transfer Express pages, and it's 80-20. 80% is entertaining, it's education, it's showing you tips and tricks, it's inspiring you to use our product. Like, we're still talking about our product, there's no question, but we're not saying buy this now, buy this now, buy this now. At 20%, yeah, we're gonna ask for a sale, but for 80%, we're gonna give you something. We're gonna give you a laugh during the day. We're gonna relate to you. We're gonna find items and articles and things that we believe will help you, right? That however that is, whether it's a blog post or an article from an industry magazine or whatnot. So think of, again, your ideal customer. Think about them and what will help them. And you can tie your product into it to an extent, but it's okay to just have a quote go out there and just like an inspiring quote that touched you. People love quotes. People love jokes.
Yeah.
And if they're relevant to your audience, you're going to get engagement, right? I mean, it's the best. And I love it because you guys are so funny when you follow us and you send us stuff, and it's hilarious. Like, we should be laughing. It's not rocket science. We are in the letters and numbers business. Like, that's the deal. So there's so much to that. So just to remember, talking to a group goal, and like, I keep going, sorry, I just call you out, but you had like, what was it, 25 to, or 18 to 45 or something like that. But remember, the 18-year-old messaging, totally different from what a 45-year-old is. So there's a little bit of different, you got to think in those terms of what's important to the 18-year-old and what's important to the 45-year-old. And yes, Sean just said something about the customer avatar, and that is absolutely. So anyway, so that's my story on that. But yeah, so
no, I think that's great because I'm with the whole 80-20 comment. Sean had a couple of really great comments. He says that's why we use social media to teach about the industry and products and then make a soft sale repeat, which is the jab hook approach. And it's really focusing more about that community, that education, that this is who we are, not this is what we sell. And same thing for Waist Up and Printed Sportswear that mentioned that they drive business to their website. They said they use a multi-point process. Some posts are for brand awareness, some are for campaigns, and some are engaging and just fun. So it's really utilizing laughter, utilizing relatability, utilizing community, and then you know what, you need this product. This is how we can help you type of situation. And then Sean, on top of everything, said, create your customer avatar, literally close your eyes and visualize them standing across from you. That's great. We've got a little bit of a delay between them.
So great. And that's exactly it. You want to mix your things, right? Yeah. So you want a mixture of things. You want some video, you want some posts, you want some carousels are fun, and carousels are great for like how to use products, right? So you could do a whole outfit, right? You could say like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember
Right, like,
my words
okay,
right
so
now, but
we'll use it for team sports, right? So you could do a picture of, for those of you that are like, I don't really know what a carousel is, or how can I utilize carousels? So one thing that I personally like about carousels is, let's say you have 4 pictures and it would be one post with 4 different images, and basically people can scroll through those images. Well, if one of those pictures shows up on somebody's feed and they don't like it, they don't comment, it's going to show back up on their feed with another picture trying to get them to engage in your content. So it's almost like a 3-in-1, a 2-in-1, a 4-in-1. I think the most you can do is 10. But it's just great because it's that one post that can get several different points across. So if you're like, how can I utilize a carousel for my page? It could be, in terms of sports, it could be somebody's team picture. And then from there, the next picture could be the jersey with the material that you use to decorate it. Then it could be the accessory. Then it could be, a quote that the coach said on just how easy it was to work with you, or production time, right? Everybody's got production times, up and down right now. So it's just really utilizing that jab, jab, punch, even in a carousel mentality, to really, or jab, 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 jab. Jab is a punch. So it'd be jab, jab, hook, not punch. But it's really just using that mentality of capturing that 80-20 in a carousel, or even it's one item, it's shown in 4 different ways, in terms of just a photography standpoint, because maybe a flat lay isn't going to get somebody's attention, but maybe actually on a body, that's how they're going to respond to that picture, and then that's how they're going to follow you. Sean also said, I never not use a carousel on ads, which one ad, multiple pictures. So it's just going to constantly be utilizing that one particular ad with different images to try to reach more people. And a thing about ads is you can't do ads on personal pages. It's got to be a business page, which is what Danielle had talked about, at the very beginning. So Danielle, go ahead.
That's okay. One thing I wanted to say about the content, though, talking to your ideal customer is, you want engagement. You want them to engage. It costs nothing, right, to have them engage. You don't have to do ads all the time. Like, we built our social channels for stalls organically up until about a year ago, when we actually got an ads person. And, we did okay, right? So, I mean, we have like over 70,000 followers, which is cool. But how we did that is we asked questions. Like, I asked questions today for you guys, right? You had a comment, I did that. I mean, I want to learn, of course, from you, but I also want our channel to bump up the people's needs, because as we're getting engagement, all the social channels are saying, oh, that must be an interesting little gig they're doing there. So they lots of comments. So people must be interested. Now more, it'll pop up more because it has engagement on it, right? So that's just another tactic. So people always love to give either advice or give their opinion or whatever. So if you have 2 photos and you have 2 of your t-shirts and you say, hey, which one do you guys like best? The right one or the left one? Comment below. You're going to get engagement, right? Or it could be, we do some that are just random stuff, like what song would you be listening to on this cool road, And we get all sorts of comments and stuff, and it's fun, right? It doesn't all have to be just about your business all the time. Like, you've got to be thinking about what other people would be interested in, things like that. Like, there's some things that while you're heat pressing, right? You've got your cup, right? It's my favorite coffee cup. And I might say, hey, I'm heat pressing today? I'm drinking tea. What does your cup look like? Comment below, right? Simple as that. It ties it into your business, but it also brings it to be relevant to customer. So just in terms of things as well that you want to have, and then here's the kicker with the engagement part. You have to respond, right? You can't just have a bunch of comments and no one responds. Like we're responding within the video, but here's another analogy. I don't think when we talked about it, but it's
Love
like
it.
being in person in real life.
Oh, you cut out. Midst of explaining it, you cut out.
Real life, someone comes up to you.
She's frozen on my end, guys. Is she frozen on yours? Bless her heart. Danielle. So when we were talking about this, one thing that we were discussing was is social media, right? Social is the first word. It's also the key word. So if you have somebody that is commenting on your posts and you're asking those questions and people are coming in and they're saying, oh, I love that, that looks great, what are you using? Even if it's I don't want to say negative comments, but negative comments are also comments. So you can turn that negative comment into a positive and just say, you know what? Thanks for commenting and boosting the algorithm in terms of social and communication. But I know one thing that Danielle was trying to say is it's like somebody walking up to you and trying to have a conversation with you. You look at them, you stare them in the eyes, and then you just walk away. So you've never responded back, you've never started the conversation, and you've never kept the conversation going. So you can ask a question in your social media posts or get that comment, that interaction on your page, and then keep having that conversation simply by continuing it throughout comments. And that's just a little bit of interaction, but remember, it's social media. So the point is to be social with others. It's just not person to person, face-to-face interaction. Sometimes it is behind the keyboard, but it's super, super important to not let those interactive comments go to the waste. You really want to make sure you respond to them. So Danielle, you had froze on us, so I was trying to step in and explain the point of keeping that conversation going and really the social side of social media.
Great job. This is so silly, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us because really this is so silly, but thank you. Thanks for hanging out as long as you have.
It's like the social side
of one, and I'll probably get better Wi-Fi.
No, you know what? Sometimes you just can't control what the internet does to you when you go live. And I know that I have had plenty of uh-ohs, not even uh-ohs, but like I've done everything I possibly can and it's not working. We all know, we've seen them. It's happened. Let's see. Sean has had some excellent comments and feedback. So one thing he's noticed is when it comes to the custom side is to make the lead feel comfortable. Many times they are nervous about putting their brand out there, pump them up, get them excited, even through social media. So it's like you are becoming their own little cheerleader about, what, you've got this brand. Let's get it out there. Let's get it out to people. And even if they don't have an idea on what to do, give them ideas. Use your platform as a way to give people ideas for new products, what they can put their logo on and really represent their brand. So yeah, okay. So we don't lose you again. Give 3 tips for starting social media, or 3, like, just, you know what, let's tick that box and make sure you've got it set up and ready to go for your platform.
I see your own computer, which is crazy. I'm gonna
think you froze.
say.
Did you freeze it? I love it.
3 things are: who is figure out your niche, right? Your audience, who you want as your customer first. I mean, everybody wants everybody, but you've got to have kind of a core niche or core group of people that you're talking to. It's too hard to have too many messages going out in different ways to be relevant to everybody, you know? The second thing I would say is fill out your bio explicitly. Go through each little thing and fill it out. You can, on Facebook, you can put your, there's a section for your about, so you can do your company, you can do your website, your email address, and all your social channels. You can share all your other social channels of how to get a hold of you. The third thing I would say is don't talk about yourself too much. And, 80-20, just think of that. And one of I remember hearing, if it was Sean or someone else, but they were talking about Jab, Right Hook. That is an excellent, excellent book by Gary Vaynerchuk. It's one of his first. And that goes through, I mean, it's probably my favorite book about social. It goes through all the things that you would want to do. So the jab is give. Give to your audience, give to your ideal customers, give. And then right hook is when you ask for the sale, right? But you have to give first. People, you can't just take. It's not, you have, I don't know, you want to listen to your audience, you want to engage with your audience, you want to build that community, build your trust, build, the friendship almost. It's not necessarily friendship, but it's know, like, and trust. People have to know you before they're going to buy from you. They need to like you before they're going to buy from you, and they need to trust you before they're going to buy from you. So how are you going to share content that does those 3 things? Those are my for now.
I think she's frozen again, guys. It's not cold anymore. It's summer. You can't be frozen. You froze on the last.
Oh my goodness, Kelly. That's like the adventure.
Hey, this is always going live is always an adventure. It's a fun adventure, and I know those that tune in. You know what?
Fun. I'm loving it. I love it.
They got to be along for the ride. They know it's not going to be perfect. But Danielle, thank you so much for going over everything. We will definitely do it again. I know we're going to do another one here in a couple of months, but maybe we can get together and record, and just get some of those social media tips out there and points, especially for, shorts and reels, for those of you guys that like that 10, 15 second little quick snapshot of information and education. So you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us through the chaos of today. But there was a lot of great interaction. So for those of you that commented and chimed in, we really, really appreciate you. And Danielle, even though there were frozen moments, we still had fun. There's lots of laughs.
Let it go.
Yep, frozen, let it go. All right, guys. Yeah, I know. Have a fantastic Friday and an even better weekend. We'll see you next time.
Yes.